Welcome to Super Dave Reigns and the Big Show. I'm your host, Bryson Lynn, aka Batman. We're here on location at Escape Velocity Comics. I'm joined here with the creator, Super Dave Reigns himself, and our good friend, Big Sexy. Say hi, Big Sexy.
Hello.
Ooh, ladies, take note.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to be with
let's jump right on into it. Let's talk movies from this week.
All right.
Ghostbusters. Thoughts?
Well, I think I say it for all of us that we were all kind of against this film from the beginning.
From the beginning.
We talked about it last time we were together that Paul Feig was our... Feig, whatever. But he was kind of our silver lining there. You know, Spy was excellent, Bridesmaids was excellent, and both of those films had very bad trailers. So we thought, maybe there's some hope here. And watching the film, it's better than I expected, but it's still not good. No. It's not bad, but it's not good either.
Right. So let's focus on the positives here. What can we take away that was positive? Super Dave?
Well, what I really thought was positive was, the ladies are very likable. I loved Kate McKinnon.
Stole the show.
She stole the show as Holtzman. And I like her kind of comedy,
Yes.
And there was bits in it that she had me on the floor, especially there was a time where they were in the office above the Chinese restaurant and she did the whole dancing thing. I cracked up. Kate McKinnon was great. I thought Leslie Jones was great. I thought Melissa McCarthy, they could have left her out.
She was the worst part of the film for me. Like, considering that Paul Feig and her really take the best out of each other, Spy, again, those two together, and Bridesmaids, she was the highlight of that film. She was the weakest comedic link in this film. Even my own mother, who loves her, thought she was awful in it.
I thought her performance was flat.
To say the least.
That's the positive.
Okay.
I mean, they have very good actresses in this film. Everything that they messed up on is very fixable. And I kind of question why they didn't fix it going forward.
And let's lead into that. What do you feel like they could have fixed just to take it from here to there?
Well, number one, the story. The story could have been a lot better. And here's my take on reboots and remakes. If the reboot and the remake are not as good as the original, then don't do it. That's how I see it. And when you reboot or remake a classic like Ghostbusters, it has to be better than the original, and this was not. So
I agree.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think it was a C film, and it could have been a great film if they could have fixed a few things. So maybe they'll do that, fix it in the sequel. Speaking of negatives, I thought the man bashing in the movie was a little over the top.
Man bashing, I didn't really catch that. Did you catch it, Bo?
There's a couple instances where it very much plays into its female-led film. Really, the only male actor in the film, Chris Hemsworth, who is fantastic.
I thought he was great.
Is a bumbling fool. The villain was just as
the villain is confusing.
Dumb, naive. He was lame, to say the least.
And I would agree with you. So,
and for me, what it really comes down to, and I touched on this in my review, you can't rely on fan service for an entire film. And that's really what it came down to. They sprinkled Easter eggs here, they gave cameos there. And I said it in my review, it's kind of like Stan Lee. I love him in my Marvel movies. I only want to see him once per movie, though. And I felt they just kept sprinkling and this and that, and we didn't get enough of that solely original Paul Feig humor in there.
Yeah,
and that's really what it comes down to.
But when that Paul Feig humor did show up,
it shows up.
It was wonderful.
Yes.
There were some parts that were very funny. I thought the beginning was very good, but the cameos, I thought they were forced.
Yeah.
And except for the one with Dan Aykroyd,
that was hands down the best.
Very natural.
And it would have been fine if they had done the cameo with Bill Murray the first time and left that second one out. Mm-hmm. And then I thought the one with what's his name, Ernie Hudson, excuse me, I'm sorry. I thought it was so predictable.
Yeah.
Very predictable.
So it just, I don't know, the movie fell flat to me. I'm going to give it a C. I think your review was great.
Yeah,
I think
it's a middle of the road movie.
Yeah, I think you 5 out of 10?
5.
I think I went 6.
I second that with a 5 as well.
Yeah, and I went a little higher because
another movie that came out this weekend, Infiltrator, and Bo and I had a chance to check it out. And in my opinion, criminally underrated. It's got a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Just not the case, in my opinion. No. Why don't you elaborate a little bit, Bo?
So The Infiltrator, Bryan Cranston, everybody loves him. He's Heisenberg, Walter White from Breaking Bad. Basically, he is a DEA, like a narcotics officer, but his job is to go undercover. He makes up identities and does massive drug busts during 1985 Miami, which is when cocaine was at its high. Right. Basically, he's given a chance to retire after a drug bust that kind of has some issues. Mm-hmm. He decides, you know what, we got a chance to take down Pablo Escobar because it's based on true events. Mm-hmm. Right. And he takes it and basically jeopardizes his life, his family's, everybody's lives for what did become the biggest single drug bust in U.S. or world history.
Mm-hmm. The most notorious drug gangster in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Very brutal.
Yes. It is a fantastic film.
Yes.
The acting...
Superb. Superb.
If Bryan Cranston doesn't get a nomination, I'll be shocked.
You're going that far, huh?
I'm going
Oscar
that far.
Nod, huh?
I'm going that far.
So if that's the case, why are the critics hitting this movie so hard?
I was just about to ask that question.
Well, the general census is that it is quasi-generic. It's a little run-of-the-mill, and I can see that, but everything is done so well.
Right.
There's enough that isn't predictable that really kept me into it for its 2-hour runtime, that I can overlook those flaws because the music, the cinematography, the acting, it was all so well done.
Okay. Yeah, and I will say there are some very oddly placed scenes that just result in some very disruptive pacing. That being said, again, the performances carry the film, and it really makes you empathize with these terrible, awful drug dealers. And that's something I never thought I would have got from that
And
film.
again, you can thank the acting for that.
Yes.
I don't know, like I said, going back though, to the point we just made about it being kind of generic, that was my issue with Argo. That was an Academy Award nominated and winning
won
film.
Best Picture.
It was extremely generic to me. I have seen that movie a million times, but the acting really carried it.
Yeah.
This film obviously has probably a tenth of that film's budget, but I don't think it should be docked for that.
No.
Right.
No.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the documentaries on Pablo Escobar, the Notorious. So, but I will check it out.
Yes.
I'm a big Bryan Cranston fan.
Very worth seeing.
Yeah. So I saw it this morning, The Secret Life of Pets.
Oh yes.
Can I ask you guys about that movie? And it made $103 million on its first weekend, which is massive. And the other thing is Dory. Finding Dory is now the highest grossing film of the year. It's even surpassed Captain
Domestic.
Captain America Civil War. So what's your thoughts on Secret Life of Pets? You wrote a great review on it.
You haven't seen it yet.
I have not.
I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. By comparison, Finding Dory was a 9.5 out of 10, and so was Zootopia, the 2 best animated films of the year. But that said, Secret Life of Pets, it's a whole different genre. You look at Pixar, it's kind of your drama, more story-driven, but that doesn't mean you can't have an animated film be a whole different thing and still be great. Mm-hmm. We get the same with normal live-action films. You have your slapstick comedies that can also be a 10 out of 10, to match up with some more, dramatic comedies.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it kind of falls in that realm of it's just pure fun and just charm and wit. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. My 8-year-old even liked it more than Finding Dory, I think.
Wow.
Because of just how charming it was.
That is my concern with it. Is it charming? I completely trust your opinion, sure. But at a certain point, for me, just those straight up silly comedies in animation, it runs a little thin. I need a little substance there.
But there is.
Yeah.
There is. And it touches on some really nice beats.
Okay.
Like, if you're a pet owner, you have to see it because it really plays nicely into the relationship of a pet owner and their animal.
Yeah.
And not just dogs and cats.
Right.
And lizards and turtles and fish.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm not a pet owner. Of course, I'm not home enough. But, I do think it was a great film for pet owners, but for us that are non-pet owners, even though we got the humor, I thought, that it needed just a little bit more. And that's why I won't hold it as high as Zootopia.
See, and that was the only complaint I put in my review, one of the only ones, is that there is a beat in the film. I don't want to get too spoilerific, but basically a pet finds out that his owner had died. And he wants to know, where's my owner?
Oh.
And the film quickly brushes over it and gets right back to the humor. And at first I was taken back, why didn't they go more on that? But it would not have matched the film. It would have just halted a film that moves at a rapid pace. Yeah. And it didn't have a right to be there. So I admired them bringing it up. I wish they did more, but I see why they didn't.
Right.
Because it just did not have a place. It worked.
Into box office numbers, because as you mentioned, Dave, Finding Dory is killing it. Still
$445 million domestic, highest animated film domestic of all time.
Yes,
surpassed Shrek 2.
Thank God.
And on that too, Secret Life of Pets.
Because it's all about Shrek the Third.
Number one.
Yeah, exactly. And Secret Life of Pets did $103 million. Really, to put that in perspective, only 6 animated films have ever opened with more than $100 million. That's pretty impressive.
I think so.
Very impressive.
And I think that the animated films are kind of carrying the summer box office.
They've been the best films.
It's been an abysmal summer.
Right, it has been, but it hasn't. I checked the numbers, and since we're talking about numbers, actually Hollywood is plus 2.9% over last year.
Thank Disney for that, though.
Exactly, because of Disney. But the problem is, I was thinking about this. If they keep making enough money or more money than the year before, our cries for an original movie, are they on deaf ears? Because people keep flocking. They keep flocking to, Ghostbusters or Finding Dory, which is still a sequel. It's I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it's a beautiful film, but it's still a sequel. There's not that much originality when it comes to the big budget films, and we'll get into it later. But I'm hoping that the last half of July will really perk up.
But it's still a sequel with Star Trek and Jason Bourne.
Right. Right.
I think the answer is pretty simple. It's American cinema. It's sad but true. If you want originality, you got to go overseas to foreign films, which are some of the best.
Bollywood,
and even I'll try and wipe that from my memory. And indie films.
Right.
By indie, you mean Bollywood, right?
No, I mean really weird films like Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army, yes.
Which I heard was really good. I heard Swiss Army Man is really good.
I haven't had a chance to see it, but heard
right. But I just wanted to touch on that because, like I said, we are asking for better scripts. We're asking for more originality, but we keep flocking. So,
correct.
I don't know what to say. We haven't seen a movie that's kind of more in the adult realm over the last couple months since Captain America Civil War and Jungle Book.
And I think that's where we're in for a very good treat, folks. The Killing Joke. Got to bring it up, The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Right.
First R-rated Batman movie ever. And on top of that, it's animated with the original voice cast. Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, Tara Strong, just stellar
I can't
names.
wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Granted, it's only going to be in cinemas for one night.
Right.
Goes straight to DVD
we're going to be
next
checking
day.
that out.
But that being said, I can't wait. And I think that's where we get a little more originality, a little more oomph.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's still animated. So
It is.
Can I
ask
ask?
that a little more as to what Killing Joke is too for the fans that doesn't know? I know we're big comic book nerds.
Yes,
so.
yes.
But do you guys? Let me ask you before you go into that. Let me ask you real quick. Do you think that Jason Bourne, Star Trek, and then a little bit later Suicide Squad will get into films that that an older audience that's not animated and put us back on the same track as a great film like Captain America: Civil War? Because I feel like the animated movies are fine, but it's something that we go to because we enjoy it, but I think it's more for a certain audience. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to get a broader appeal? And I heard Star Trek Beyond is really good. So far it's at 88%. But are we going to get more of a adult movie that's not a animated movie that's really good with Star Trek, Jason Bourne, and Suicide Squad?
No, because even Jason Bourne's rated PG-13, so it's still
family friendly.
Yeah.
And Civil War was too, but I think out of all those, Jason Bourne has the best shot at it. But even at the core of it, the political intrigue and espionage to it, it's really brushed over. It's more just about a fun adventure film with my second favorite bedtime hero, Matt Damon. First being Bruce Willis, yes.
Right.
But,
bald head.
Not that one again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
anyway, let's talk numbers, because I think we briefly brushed over that, or no?
We know box office lightly. Well, Secret Life of Pets outgrossed Ghostbusters. That was the big one.
And I think they're going to beat
50 million to 46 million.
Yeah, they beat it again, which is, to me, if you're I think Ghostbusters is Warner Brothers, is it not? Who's the film studio on Ghostbusters? I can't remember, but hey, that's not a good thing. You're coming out with Ghostbusters. It's your first weekend, and this is where I think a lot of the kind of negative reviews and then them pushing back on it kind of lowered the box office for Ghostbusters. Right. So Ghostbusters shouldn't be getting beat by The Secret Life of Pets on its second weekend. So but that's just my take on it.
I fully agree with that. So we kind of briefly looked into next week a little bit with Star Trek. Expectations high, low. I mean, with
in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
for me, I'm pretty tepid on it.
Yeah. Why is that? Were you not a fan of the last movie? Or?
It's okay.
Yeah.
The first Star Trek reboot was really fun and fresh, and I thought they did a good thing.
Yeah.
The second one, they entered that reboot territory.
Yeah.
And because of it, it hurt it in some regards.
You think so? Yeah.
It's entertaining. There's just a lot of issues with it, and now the new one. JJ's not a part of it. He's a producer, but how much is he really doing with his hands busy with Star Wars?
Are we getting the sun flares?
But we're getting... I didn't see him, but we're getting Justin Lin.
Yeah.
And Justin Lin is good, but the trailers are giving me a Fast and Furious vibe. Just a strong action, and they shouldn't be.
That may be true, but
that's like Star Trek to me.
I understand, but I think the early word is this is a really good film. We'll have to see.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
And folks, we're always going to be honest with you. We're not going to be fanboys and fangirls. So we'll give it to you like it is.
Yeah.
So, but
see, I think we're missing the movie that comes out next week. That's also going to have a lot of buzz.
Lights Out. Lights Out. And that is one of the most surprisingly reviewed movies of the year so far.
Right.
We're sitting at a 90%, 100%?
It's 100% stuff.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what it is, it's an upcoming horror film produced by what's his name? James Wan. Thank you.
But it's based off of a short. That kind of went viral, like a 6-minute short. That's really good.
Yeah, and just very generic plot from what I gather from the trailers. Dead girl, she haunts people in the dark. Oh, it's so scary.
Yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The trailers.
The trailers do not make it look good whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, I would agree.
That being said, my expectations for that film are still very tepid. You look at it's still 100%, yes. But look at how many reviews are up at this moment. It's 6 or 10, something
yeah,
like that.
that's not enough. When you
low.
get 25, 30, 40 reviews,
then we start getting a better.
It's still, I don't know though.
We can get a trend.
I still like to use that as a bit of a gauge. You know, Civil War's first 10 reviews were 100%.
Yeah, but
and that film finished in I think like 92.
Yeah, but
the
Civil
first,
War has a track record.
But the first 10 reviews for Batman vs Superman,
right,
it was like a 36%, and it didn't fare too much better at the end of its run. So starting out that high is not a bad thing, and there are really good critics that have reviewed it so far, like Rolling Stone and Variety.
Yeah, well, I thought we got a little bit hoodwinked on Batman v Superman, so. Warner Brothers has unveiled their San Diego Comic-Con lineup presentations for Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, and Fantastic Beasts, where to find them. I'm going to get your thoughts on that, but Team Super Dave Raines and the Big Show's very own Kayla Hillebrand, a.k.a. Sid, will be attending San Diego Comic-Con, and we're going to be getting some footage, some video and photos from San Diego Comic-Con. That's amazing. So I'm very happy about that. And Kayla, welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you, a.k.a. Sid. Yes. Star Wars Celebration opened this past Friday in London. They showed a very nice featurette, but we were promised a trailer. And we didn't get that. It's not like I'm mad at you, but if you're going to tell us you're going to give us a trailer, then we should probably see a trailer. So. And I don't have a problem with them showing the trailer only to the people in the hall. That's what they did. But ABC and Disney and Lucas put it out that we were going to get the trailer on Friday. Well, we didn't get the trailer. So we'll see when that comes up. Also, there's going to be a Pokemon movie that's really big right now.
Well,
so
and that's
let me get your quick thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con, the Star Wars trailer, and Pokemon before I go to Big Show News.
All right, we'll start from the top.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con, only one of the movies you described actually excited me, and that's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Wow.
I'm sorry. After Batman vs Superman, I'm really just not happy with DC, and I'm the one that I did not like Dark Knight Rises at all. I don't own that film. It's the only superhero film I don't own. Well, next to Fantastic Four.
Right.
But I just did not like it.
I don't know that one
so they're not having a good track record for me. And Suicide Squad, I'm gonna see it. I don't know. It's some of the stuff now looks better, but I'm not there. Wonder Woman's kind of in the same boat. I'm excited for our first female superhero-led movie.
Right.
But DC's trying to play catch-up still, and I don't like the way they're going about it. So I'm really worried.
Yeah.
But the Harry Potter movies have all been so good, and this one was so good.
Great.
And Eddie Redmayne, like, he's one of the best new talents we have in Hollywood right now.
And I'm not arguing with you there.
You're not.
I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, you haven't even seen all the movies.
I'm a big
like,
Harry Potter fan, so
I don't need
all the
to.
books,
He's a boy wizard. He defeats evil.
It looks really good. I would agree with you.
I think it's going to be
very good. I'm hopeful for Wonder Woman. I'm very hopeful for Suicide Squad.
I am too.
The word is that they're thinking they're going to do 125 mil opening weekend. And DC needs this. DC needs this win. Warner Brother needs this win. They need Suicide Squad to be good.
But Batman vs Superman opened really large too, though, and it just
it did, and it made a lot of money, but it wasn't good. I don't know how else to say it. It just wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
It could have been a whole lot better. So just real quick, Big Show News. We are going to be doing Colorado Springs Comic and Toy Con on the 30th and 31st, and that is right here in Colorado Springs at the Doubletree. It's a free event. They're raising donations for Toys for Tots, so if you could bring toys to donate, that would be great. The Suicide Squad premiere on the 4th of August. We will be there. I think we're going to do some more Man on the Street trivia. I'm kind of kicking that around because that was really fun the last time we did it in front of Captain America Civil War. Colorado Springs Comic Con, that is August 26th through the 28th, I believe, or 29th. At the Mortgage Solutions Financial Expo Center, featuring Ric Flair, Dean Cain, Tara Reid, Buck Rogers himself, Mr. Gil Gerard, and, well, I think Alfonso dropped out. I don't think he's coming. Carlton from Fresh Prince. So I'm not sure that he's going to be here. So that's some of the Big Show news, and then I'll turn it back to you and with closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. We're where are we going?
I'm excited for the Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
That's all I care about right now.
Yeah.
Like, my phone keeps going off because I know there's Pokemon near, and I can't wait to wrap this up so I can go catch some more. But no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Just don't wreck your car. That's all.
Or jump off of a cliff.
Or jump off a cliff. Oh my God.
For a free-to-play game that's earned its company over $9 billion in a matter of weeks and jumped its stock some 33%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, all the studios going after it makes sense. The time is right. Make the movie.
Right.
And it's going to be live action.
Right.
Which should be interesting, but it's smart. Hollywood actually being smart on something.
Right.
If you ask me. Jump on it.
Well, on that note, folks, I'm going to go catch me some Pokemon. I believe there's a Charizard nearby. Like Charizard. It's a Charizard!
Yeah.
It's a Charizard!
Well,
and until next time, here at Escape Velocity Comics, Big Sexy, Super Dave Reigns, Batman. Own the love, people. I'm out.